Welcome back to Reading Reddit, the channel where we, you guessed it, read Reddit. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We post videos every day, so hit the notification bell so you never miss out. Ex's divorce lawyer. Send 3 years of complete financials or else. Me, as you wish. This happened several years ago when my ex and I were going through a heated divorce and custody battle. While we were married, we had a couple of conversations about how rich people hide their assets to avoid paying taxes. I've never had enough assets to do this, but she somehow got the idea that I was and told her attorney that I was laundering money and hiding income. It was more likely the heat of the moment, as divorce and custody battles often come down to. I couldn't even afford my own attorney, so I represented myself. Her lawyer wasn't a total ass, but he was clearly out to get me, and he talked down to me like I didn't deserve to breathe the same air. One day I get a letter in the mail from him requesting an updated income declaration form and 3 years of financials. It had a long-ass list of things to include. I own a communications tech company that was in super startup phase back then. Money was already tight. I was trying to get this business off the ground with no financing. I was finishing my MBA with scholarships and loans, so paying for copies and postage or driving this 30 miles to his office meant eating peanut butter and salines for a week. So I called him to explain my situation. He all but called me a liar and didn't believe I couldn't afford it. I was put off by that, and I said this was taking time away from business I needed to handle. To which he replied, and I'll never forget this, "Well, according to your income declarations, you're not that busy. What do you do all day?" He then said if he didn't get these documents, he would consider my previous filings as fraudulent, tell the judge, contact the DA, and also alert the state tax agency and IRS. Probably an empty threat, but I'm no lawyer. eFax is one of the services my company provides, and at this time it was relatively unknown, so I asked him if he has a fax machine. He said he had a fax/scanner/copier device, then said what law office doesn't have a fax machine? And I suddenly got an idea. "Okay," I said to him, "I'll put together and fax whatever I can." "Okay, melon farmer, you want 3 years of financials? You got it." I scanned to PDF every receipt I could find. McDonald's receipt from 5 years ago? F it. Wouldn't hurt to include it. CVS receipt? It's 3 miles long. Perfect. They get $1 off toothpaste coupons too. I downloaded every bank statement, credit card statement, purchase order from vendors, and every invoice I'd sent to my clients. I printed to PDF the entire 3-year accounting journal, monthly, quarterly, and annual balance sheets, cash flow statements, P&Ls. Not only did I PDF 3 years of tax filings, but every single letter I'd received from the IRS and state tax agency, including the inserts advising me of my rights. It took a while, but I was a few days ahead of the deadline. I made a cover page black background with white lettering. Wherever I could, I included separator pages in all caps in the biggest, boldest font that would fit on the page in landscape. 20XX receipts, 20XX taxes, etc. I merged everything into a single 150-plus page compressed PDF and sent the document using my eFax system. Every hour or so, I received a status email saying the fax had failed. Huh, that's weird. Well, they're getting this document. So I changed the system configuration to unlimited retries and failures to keep reloading until it went through. Weird. I was still getting status email failures. I'll delete the failure emails and keep the success ones after it eventually goes through, I thought. Problem solved. 2 days later, a lady from his office called and asked me to stop sending the fax. Their faxer, scanner, printer, copier had been printing non-stop. It kept getting paper jams, kept running out of ink, and they had to keep shutting it off and turning it back on to print. I explained that her boss told me to send this by the deadline or else he would call the DA and IRS. Since I didn't want a call from the DA or the IRS, I would keep sending until I got a success confirmation. I suggested that they just not print until my fax completes, but she didn't like that. She asked me to email the documents, and I told her a little white lie that my email wouldn't allow an attachment that big. Unless her boss in writing agreed to cancel the request or agree to reimburse me for my costs to print and ship, I said I would continue to fax until they confirm they have received every page. She put me on hold, and the attorney gets on the line. He said, "Forget sending the financials." I said that I would need this in writing, so I will keep sending the fax until he sent that to me. He asked me to stop faxing and he would send it in writing, and I said, "Send it in writing first, then I'll stop." Long moment of silence. Click. About 20 minutes later, I received an email from his assistant with an attached, signed letter in PDF that I no longer need to provide financials. The letter then threatened to pursue sanctions in court or sue me for interfering with their business. Every time I saw him after that, the lawyer never brought up sanctions, lawsuit, criminal referrals, or financials ever again. You know, I try not to hold too much against lawyers because, while they are pretty much weasels, snakes, and slimy pieces of crap 99% of the time, they're just the messenger. The message itself that you should be mad at is the entire legal system behind them. Yes, he did use a whole bunch of veiled, empty threats about sending him to the DA and the IRS and everyone else, but he was allowed to do that because, frankly, the whole system is corrupt all the way down. And to be honest, for the poster's sake in this case, with such a vindictive ex going after him like that, I hope he had $1 million worth of gold buried in the yard. I hope he was lying about the whole thing about not being able to hide financials. Because frankly, after that, he's earned it. Apartment manager doesn't take cash for 2-cent bill. Malicious compliance ensues. In 2019, I moved from an apartment complex in Celebration, Florida, to a condo. As usual, when you move out of an apartment, you get a final bill, which includes your last month's prorated rent, deductions for damages, security deposit refunds, and the like. We paid it. The next month, I get a call from my wife who says we've got a follow-up bill in the mail from the apartment manager company for 2 cents. We're both in the tech field, so we laughed that this company's IT department didn't catch the edge case of spending 50 cents in postage to collect 2 cents in revenue. But it happens. My wife prints out a copy of the bill. I grab 2 cents from the change jar. The apartment complex is on my daily drive, so I swing by the office. I walk in and tell the manager that I want to pay my last bill. I say, "It says 2 cents. Here's the bill, and I have 2 cents if you want it." The manager says, "We don't take cash." Nothing else. There was an awkward pause. I say, "I don't expect you to take cash. I expect both of us to have a laugh at how silly computer systems are, and for you to write off the 2 cents because it would cost you more to process the payment." She says, "I'm not going to do that." Again, awkward pause. I say, "So you want me to write you a check for 2 cents and mail it? And you're going to process that check?" The manager says, "Yes, send us a check and we'll process it," and then walks back into her office to end the conversation. So I go home and set up an automatic monthly bank payment to my apartment complex for 3 cents. And then, because I'm a programmer, I write some code to send a letter once per month saying, "I'm so sorry, I've overpaid my bill. Please send me a check for the overpayment." And I use an online service that sends postcards in ridiculous sizes, up to around 18 inches by 24 inches, figuring that that'll be my escalation strategy. The first of the next month, I get a call from the apartment company's regional manager. After introducing himself, the next 2 minutes were the most sincere, "Oh God, we made a mistake. Please don't do this. We'll never contact you again. Apology I could have ever hoped for." I stopped the mail and never heard from them again. Did I spend several hours on MC for 2 cents? Yes. Was it worth it? Absolutely. So I'm actually a little confused on this one because I don't think they can refuse to take cash for that situation, can they? Somebody let me know, because I'm pretty sure if you owe somebody money in that situation and you're giving them legal tender, they don't have the option of not accepting the legal tender. I really don't know how this works. Somebody please let me know, because I'm genuinely curious. It reminds me of those people that get like a $200 parking ticket and they go and pay it in pennies. And I've seen some YouTube videos where they try to say, "No, we can't accept those, it'll take us too long to process it, blah blah blah." But it's legal tender. I mean, if you owe somebody money and you're giving them money and they're saying we can't accept that kind of money, something somewhere is screwed up. So I love this though. I love the fact that he tried to send them 18 by 24 inch giant postcards, thinking of escalation strategies just in case plan A didn't work. You gotta have escalation plan B. Absolutely loved it. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We post videos every day, so hit the notification bell so you never miss out.